Okay. This is the water meter. And it's inside the parkway. And that's acceptable. It's okay. That is the lawn sprinkler check valve. And they should not be located in the parkway. They should be located on your property. And this isn't actually your property. Saved by the bell. Good home, this is Bud. That's Brian with Senior Benefits. You'll get a ticket for not mowing this or taking care of it, but this is actually community property or city property, the road property. So a lawn sprinkler system, and if this ever gets widened, and it won't, but should it, in theory, then the city would be responsible for moving this to the proper location. They would not be responsible for moving that to the proper location. That should be over there. And it would be on you. Now, inside here in the meter, what we have here is that little triangle. That's a flow indicator. A flow indicator. Some people call them cheater wheels, cheater paddles, call it what you will. But it's very sensitive. And if water is moving into the house, fresh potable water, if water is moving into the house, then that will move. And if it's moving and you don't have a reason for it to move, you might, the number one culprit is the lawn sprinkler, commode flapper. If you're running the dishwasher, it's supposed to move. So that's the meter. That's the way that looks. This is the lawn sprinkler check valve. Now, when this home was built, it was besides its location, it was allowed to be installed without a main shutoff valve. So we do not have a main shutoff valve. It's going to make the report. I'm going to write up as a deficiency, but you probably should know that that wasn't required. These are your isolation valves, and of course they're rusty, and that one's broken. These valves are supposed to be serviced about once a year. Like that ever happens, but they are. This box should have been excavated so that you got at least 3 inches of clearance underneath that valve so that people can reach their hands around it and service it. And then this box should be lined with gravel to keep the ground from coming back in like it has. That's what should have happened. That's what it looks like. I might get a still image of that later. Coming on along to the front of the structure, the front of the house. This is a cast iron drain system. This is your sewer clean out. I shouldn't be able to pick the cap up like that. Ooh, look at all those roaches. Look at that. Boy, they are just going to town. Water bugs, call them what you will. It'd be better if we had a double. We might, it's just covered up. But that cap should be on better. See, this pipe is a little smaller. That leads me to believe, to assume, that there may be a water shutoff valve down in there. And if it's that narrow, it would be the old school with the rod. If you have a water problem, you'd probably be better off going to the meter and turning it off. If you try to use this valve, if there is in fact a valve there, it'll probably break. You're probably still going to go to the meter to turn the water off. Then after you fix whatever it is that you're working on inside, then you're going to come out and dig this up and replace that valve. So, this is what it is. If it's even a valve. Because I'm going to have to write that none apparent. None apparent. That's what I have to write because I can't see it. This is a lawn sprinkler head. Duh. And they're not supposed to be closer to the structure than 12 inches. They're just not. I see it all the time. I'm not discounting my work. But I see it all the time. This is the front exterior faucet. We're looking for between 40 and 80 psi. And we're looking at about 95 there. Woo-wee! Boy, that's just really cooking. We got too much water pressure coming to the house. At a minimum, we're going to expect to see an expansion tank on the water heater. That's at a minimum. A pressure reduction valve. Maybe this could be dug up. The valve replaced with one that's usable. Put a pressure reduction valve in. People say you can't get enough pressure, and that's not true. That's not true. Between 40 and 80. What you're looking for is flow. Too much pressure is going to stress out your plumbing pipes, cause more leaks, more repairs, more joys of home ownership.